Hey guys, it's Tyler McKinney back here again, and today, believe it or not, I hate to say it, but I agree with Jim Harbaugh. I have to shake my head at that because I am an Ohio State fan through and through. I am a Buckeye. I have the scarlet and gray running through my veins. The Ohio State. And Jim Harbaugh's a Michigan man. But if you paid any attention to the comments that he made during the Big Ten media days when they went through and previewed all of the football teams and interviewed all the coaches, one of the things that he said I totally agree with and I believe needs to be instituted. What is that? Well, thankfully, it has nothing to do with the Michigan program and them winning any football games. But what it has to do with is the players. I am a big proponent of that. The players need to be able to get a little bit more leeway with what's going on. I think the coaches and the schools have way too much power, and the players don't have enough. If we're going to consider these young men, then we need to let them be able to make their own decisions and not lock them in, to certain things. And just because they're playing football, they can't do something. Whereas if they weren't playing football, they would totally be able to do things. Well, the comment that Jim Harbaugh made was that he believes that college football should allow players one free transfer without having to sit out a year. And Jim Harbaugh, I hate to say this, but I applaud you for that. I believe that the players have been getting the short end of the stick. Now, granted, I'm not one that just thinks that they need to go out and just, they don't want a job here. They need to go, hop around and this and that. I don't believe in that. But I believe that they should have the ability to go and transfer if they want to. And sometimes, they come into these schools under certain circumstances, and those circumstances change. And just staying there, isn't necessarily in their best interest, but because they can't do anything, they've got to stay there if they want to play football, that is. So let's take this scenario, okay? A guy comes in, okay, the coach recruits him. All right. And, he is, for a better lack of term, he is a dual threat quarterback. He comes in and he can run and he can pass. Not the greatest pocket passer, but he's a great improviser. He makes a really good RPO decisions and things of that nature. Okay, so let's say it's his freshman year. They redshirt him. They do terrible. They fire the head coach. They bring in a whole new coaching staff. And this coaching staff is a pro style all the way. So they don't use let's say they don't use an RPO, and that's what this quarterback is. That coach brings in his own quarterback. Well, guess what? If he wants to transfer, he's got to sit out a year. How is that fair? None of this was to his choosing, was his liking. He went to a place because he thought he was going to play a certain style of football, but now he's not going to be able to play that football. And so now he's stuck with this dilemma, and you've got some people, well, you need to stick it out, you need to win that job. Well, it was a job he never was going to win, and it's a type of football that he probably was never wanting to play in the first place. I mean, granted, you're a football player, you want to play football, but there's a style of football that you want to play and that you want to do, and that might not be it. And a coach can go up and do that, but a player can't. And I'm going to ask, what's the difference? Just because he's a little older, they're both adults. They're both considered adults. Just because the one's enrolled in school, that's the difference? So, I mean, granted, I know for some people I might fall on the wrong side of the issue with that. Some people might say, oh, we do that, you're just going to open it up to where they can just transfer and do whatever they want. That's not going to happen. It will work itself out. And the reality of it is still the best players will play. If he transfers and he's not the best player, he's not going to play. And wouldn't you rather have the best talent playing on the football field as opposed to having three of the best quarterbacks on one team and this team having no quarterbacks? And then you got guys who could have been playing, for a couple, 2-3 years maybe, who are sitting the bench. I can tell you, me personally, when I played football, I didn't play to just practice and then stand there and watch the game. I played to be in the game. And, if some of these guys aren't getting the opportunity at some of these schools, but they can transfer, get at another, give them the opportunity. That's just my take on it. I agree with Jim Harbaugh. I think they should get one free transfer because things happen. Give them one shot to transfer and that with it. Now, if they want to transfer after that again, that's another story. But give them one free one. The one caveat that I might add to it that he doesn't do is we're all about, it's all about the student athlete, making sure that it's the student athlete is a student first. Well, if you want to make it student first, then make them be in good academic standing. Make it be that they have to have over a 3.0 average for them to be able to, have that transfer clause in there where they get that one free transfer. I don't know, maybe something like that to it to add a little incentive to, make the players, keep a better, higher GPA, go to classes more, be involved in that anyways. So I don't know. Those are just a few of my thoughts on some of the transfer stuff. I do like the transfer pool. I think it's a good thing for college football. I think it's a real nice way for teams and players to be a little bit more transparent about the whole transfer process and who's really available and who's not, and that. So I like that. We can talk about that more later and maybe go into that discussion on that later. But today I just wanted to say that Jim Harbaugh, I'm going to stand up, and being a Buckeye fan, I'm going to applaud you and say, I totally agree with you on this one issue. Outside of that, nada. So anyways, I don't know. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you think that this was just another crazy quote from Jim Harbaugh? What did you think? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down in the comment sections, and let's start some discussion. Well, I know you're busy, and I know I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You guys have a good night. All right, bye.